Hey, Planeswalkers, welcome to this weekly series here on Friday Night Meta, my friends, with yours truly, MetaMaster Mythras here. Excited because we got a nice little change going on here in Explorer with the recent bans. That is correct. So that's also why I waited a little bit to give you the latest and greatest here, as always, on the channel. So flip me a like, smash the subscribe, stick around for a while because we got a ton of stuff going on today, where I break down Standard, I break down Historic, we break down Alchemy, we break down Explorer, we go into Historic Brawl for you, and talk about some of the latest and greatest stuff here throughout last week. So with that, Planeswalkers, appreciate that support as always. Timestamps down below for you in today's activity. You can flip to the best section that you enjoy the most. Love to hear from you as always, so let me know down below, or feel free to hop on the Discord server. And great ways to support the channel. Thank you to the lovely members and patrons as always. So all right, here's what we got going on for Standard Best of 1. Some new stuff going on here with Boros Burn being at the top of the pack. So we got a 60% plus win rate right now with this deck, leading out here across the entire gambit in terms of the meta. Really starting to move up there at 6%. Fairly well balanced between the 8% and the 4%. So nothing really blowing things out right now. In terms of what this meta looks like here for the Streets of New Capenna. We have Mono White Aggro, Naya Humans, Naya Runes, Orzhov Angels, Mono Black Control, Esper Control, and then Rakdos Sacrifice in the mix. So as we scroll down, we can see a lot of this going on here. See that Boros Burn really picking up and getting into the play. Again, we see that huge shift down from Mono White Aggro, but we talked about that last week. And then as you can see, a lot of these other things starting to play out here. Mostly a lot of things dropping, but Mono Black Control also climbing, which is big to see. Boros Burn having a really nice win rate there. And then everything else kind of going steady Eddie there outside. So let's go ahead. We'll move up to more competitive scene here right now. Again, Boros Burn, Naya Humans, Mono White Aggro, Naya Runes, Selesnya enchantments in there, Orzhov Angels, Mono Black Control, and Esper Control. Again, similar style there and similar here. Very picking up in terms of that popularity. And again, in terms of win rates, doing really well there at the top end of the competitive scene. So almost halfway through the season. We'll blow back out though, because we'll look at Mythic next week. Let's flip over to best of 3 here. Best of 3, Naya Runes doing the best. We got Mono White Aggro, Esper midrange, Orzhov Angels, Jund midrange, Izzet Control, Esper Control, and Grixis Control. Not doing so well there, Grixis. Jund midrange, still everyone playing that deck at 22%. We followed by Naya Runes, Esper midrange, Izzet Control, and the rest. So here you can see a lot of that top being played there. And then everything else, you do see Naya Runes starting to pick a little bit more up in popularity. And still doing very well at the top end there in terms of win rates. Let's go ahead now and move over to a more competitive space. A few things shift around here. Esper Control also joining, not hitting above 50%. 64% though on Naya Runes, so that's big to see. 22% still on Jund midrange. Naya Runes still being a favorite in top play deck. We can see a lot of that play going on here. And a lot of the stuff that's happening there in terms of the win rate. So that's Standard Best of 1 and Best of 3 for us this week. Let's blow this all the way back out. Flip over to Best of 1, take a look at Alchemy. Here's what we got going on in Alchemy. Orzhov Dungeon, Gruul Werewolves, Rakdos Sacrifice, midrange Mono Green Stompy, and Azorius Control. Really the two big decks. Gruul Werewolves, Mono Green Stompy. Again, not a lot of players in Alchemy right now. Not surprised on this. We'll leave it at the aggro. Let's see if anything in best of 3. Nothing in best of 3. So we're popping on Alchemy. Let's go ahead over to Historic. Historic, what do we got going on? Izzet Wizards, Azorius Control, Mono Red Aggro, Selesnya Heliod, Mono White Life Gain falling out there, Selesnya Enchantress, Mono Green Elves, and Izzet Phoenix. Mono Red Aggro, tons of players still on that. Izzet Wizards doing well. Azorius Control as well, and you can see the rest of the stuff being played. Popularity over time, and then again here in terms of what's happening with those win rates. Let's go ahead and see the more competitive space and see if we got some stuff. A couple shifts there. Izzet Wizards, Azorius Control, but looking fairly similar. Let's blow that all the way back out. We're going to flip over to best of 3 here, Planeswalkers. Best of 3. Now a lot going on. Rakdos Arcanist, Izzet Phoenix, Azorius Control. Boom. That is it. Everyone really being on that Standard right now. Let's see what else we got going on. Explorer. Lots of players still playing Explorer too. So lots of changes this week. This is what I was very excited for. Wanted to wait a couple days to show you here on Friday Night Meta for this weekly series this week. Mono Blue Spirits being #1 in best of one. Mardu Vehicles in there. Mono Red Aggro. Rakdos Sacrifice, Rakdos Midrange, Esper Vehicles, Mono Green Devotion popping in there, and Is It Phoenix? So you can see a lot of this stuff. Mono Red Aggro being very, very heavy there. Mardu Vehicles, Esper Vehicles, Rakdos Midrange, and the works. And then here we see that lovely Winata going poof. And then you can see all the other decks starting to pick up. Again, Mono Red Aggro really starting to pull in for that. And then we can see everything else going on here in terms of those win rates over time. Mono Blue Spirits have been doing really, really well. Nonetheless, in terms of what we're seeing, let's go to the more competitive space. A few things flipping around here down below, but everything else primarily intact, as you know. So very, very interesting there. Let's break all the way back out and let's take a look at best of 3. We do have a lot of action going on best of 3, which is nice too. Rakdos Sacrifice, Rakdos Midrange, Mono Blue Spirits in there, Mardu Vehicles, Jund Sacrifice, Is It Phoenix, Esper Tempo, Jund Midrange, 15% of that Rakdos Midrange there. And then you can see how well these things are performing along with their win rates there as well. Rakdos doing a great job here in Explorer best of 3. Let's look over here. Again, similar style. We see Jund Sacrifice popping up there too. A little bit more. And boom, huge, 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 huge. So my friends, that is the new hot take there with Esper, or sorry, Explorer, not Esper. Long day. Let's pop back over there. Last but not least, we have Historic Brawl. So Historic Brawl, here's what we got. Raffine, Scheming Seer, a new one at the top of the list here. Jetmir is another one that we talked about last week, and then you can see everything else here in terms of what's happening. We got Giada in there as well, Winata, Moldratha, and Golos. So there we have it, my friends, in terms of win rates. Our lovely Raffine doing very, very well there, helping smooth things out as we like to see. Kinnon's doing well again, and then also Giada. So that is what we have in terms of Historic Brawl here this week, my friends. And that concludes today's week. No big events over the weekend, sadly or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, but definitely sadly in the Magic world, as we like to see a lot of things happening. So at least for what I was looking at for online tournaments this week. Planeswalkers, with that said, appreciate that support as always. Flip me a like, smash the subscribe. Love to get it through you quickly here. Latest and greatest and all things meta and Magic the Gathering Arena, particularly for the Streets of New Capenna, new set, new series that we have going on right now. So stay tuned because we've got a ton of stuff here on the channel. Love to see you around. More as always, questions or comments, let me know down below. Great ways to stay connected. Appreciate that support as always. Planeswalkers, you stay safe, you take care. We'll see you again soon. Until next time, Mythras out, my friends.